mom is always worried about you. I think that's why. Your dad's in prison, we know, we can tell just by looking at you.
No, I'm black, it doesn't matter, I'm not gonna say.
Before we get to die.
Bro, I'll just find a way.
The body of 18-year-old black teen Nolan Xavier Wells has been found. His white friends who were with him on the trip have already hired lawyers. Wells vanished July 4 during a 4th of July boat outing to Horn Island, Mississippi, about 10 miles off the Gulf Coast. A park ranger found him in the water near the northwest end on July 6th. His phone was not with him. It was in his father's possession. The island has no cell coverage and is only accessible by private boat. Search teams, including the Cajun Navy, scoured land and sea since his disappearance. Authorities have not said how many people were on the boat or who made the missing person report. But online video suggests a possible altercation before the friends left Wells behind. One friend is the child of a judge, and all of them quickly retained lawyers. Wells was reportedly heading to meet a girl, but instead his friends took another boat and departed without him. Why did his phone return, but he did not? Why the immediate legal protection? The family and activists are furious, comparing this to other cases where black victims' deaths were dismissed as accidents. Officials are awaiting DNA confirmation, though the family says they have identified.
First thing I'm going to say is I would never leave without the full head count of my friends. That is rule number one. We don't get off no damn island. We don't get onto no boat. We don't do nothing until we have every last person that we came with all in one place. You mean to tell me that no one took account for Nolan Xavier Wells before y'all got back on that boat to go back to the main island? Something's not adding up. 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells was last seen on July 4th with his friends on Horn Island outside of Jackson, Mississippi. He was last seen in blue shorts, sunglasses, and that's it. Nolan's parents are looking for him nonstop. They just want to find their son. Now, the U.S. Coast Guard and the Cajun Navy are looking for Nolan. The Cajun Navy commander said that he was last seen with a teen before he disappeared. They found his phone, but they did not find him. And if this is his friend group, I'm not gonna lie. I don't have that much faith in finding this boy alive. Because like I said before, there's no way in hell I would hop on a boat to go home and not all of my friends are accounted for. Y'all didn't give a about him whatsoever. And there's somebody out there that was part of that friend group that knows what happened. But everybody's locking the up. Now, I'm trying to keep the faith that this boy's just sitting there lost on this island and, you know, he fell asleep or some shit. But 9 times out of 10, we already know how this shit goes, especially with a friend group like that. My prayers go out to Nolan's mother and father and his family and friends. I hope I come with a better update.
Black people, stop going on motherfucking vacation with these white folks. Your white friends call you, say, hey, bud, what's up? Hey, you ain't going on vacation? No. 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 Hell no. Because y'all keep going on vacations and they keep coming back home and we can't find it. You got to tell them white people no right now. Not all of them, but some of you got to tell them no. I can't wonder why I'm going out there in the ocean for.
I just got in my car and I'm going to try my best to make this without becoming emotional. I am a mother of 4 kids. I don't care if I gave birth to them or not, they mine. And 3 of those children are young black boys, 18, 17, and 9. Watching this story about Nolan Wells is heartbreaking because why is this still happening in 2026? If you don't know what I'm talking about, Nolan Wells was an 18-year-old black boy that went boating with his white friends on the 4th of July and did not come home. His cell phone did. Some of his clothes did. His friends made it back, but nobody knows what happened to Nolan. Nobody remembers what happened. He went into the woods with a girl and we don't know what happened. So why did y'all leave him? Because I needed to be known that the one fact that we got for sure is they didn't report that baby missing until they got back home. They didn't call when they were getting ready to pack up the boat and come back home and realize, hey, we can't find Nolan. We've been looking for him for an hour. Come help us find him. They didn't report it until they got back home. If it was an accident, I pray for comfort for the family. But if something happened to that baby that should not have happened, whoever did it, I hope they find out and I hope they pay, because enough is enough. Our children are just as valuable as the others.
Okay, let's start off with 17-year-old Nolan Wells is missing from Horn Island, Mississippi, right off the coast of Biloxi. There's photos, video that was posted on the Horn Island group chat on Facebook. A girl named Vi Alice Ross posted that the white boys needed to be investigated because she went to school with them and it wasn't all that you guys think it is. Another girl, Caitlin, states that she was parked next to them until about 7:30 with no sign of Nolan to be found. But yet the report was he went missing earlier in the day, so why would they continue partying? It just doesn't make sense to me. And then this other commenter, Maggie, posted that there's too many white people to not notice that their one black friend is missing. Matthew Lamp posted that there was almost a fight that he had seen within that group of people on the Book of Faces.
When I heard about Nolan Wells, I immediately thought about Tamla Horsford. Black person, goes somewhere with a group of white friends, turns up dead, and nobody knows what happened. Now, obviously, none of us know what happened to Nolan Wells. But what we do know is that he went to an island that is only 13 miles long and 1 mile wide. What we do know is that he went with multiple friends. What we do know is that those same friends left without him. What we do know is that his phone was still on the boat, but he was nowhere to be found. What we do know is that every single one of those friends outside of Nolan returned home. And I want us to name that, especially in somewhere like Mississippi, if the situation looked any different, that this was a group of majority black boys with a young white boy that went missing and turned up dead, they'd be going full Klan.
The way this country talks about black victims versus white victims is disgusting. Nolan Wells' body was found yesterday off the coast of Mississippi. If you didn't know, he was presumed missing and dead on July 4th. It is America's 250th birthday, and we're still dealing with this bullshit. He was celebrating with his friends for the 4th of July, and there's now circulating video that is going very viral of what looks to be him and his friends that he went with on the beach, and there's an argument. There's yelling happening. In the video, he looks to be very calmly standing still looking at his buddies. And somehow, the conversation is about his behavior. Why wasn't he on the boat? Was he drinking? Was he going from one boat to another? Now, I'm going to give you a scenario. It's kind of morbid, so stick with me, and trigger warning. If I show up dead, washed on a beach, my community of people where I was born are not going to go, well, how was Jake acting? Did he stay where he was supposed to? Did he start an argument with people? No, it's gonna go, what the fuck? We have someone that would kill people out here? Jake, I love that guy. He plays for the football team. I'm just putting myself in Nolan's shoes. Nolan plays for the team. He's friends with those people. And the conversation is about his behavior. Just so frustrating. Like, racism is still alive and well just in the dialogue. Just in the dialogue. As simple as that. I just want this country to do better, and I see a future where we just stop with this bullshit and start going like, man, this kid was killed. Like, his on the 4th of July, he is celebrating with everyone, and he can't even do that.
I'm not buying the we thought he caught another ride BS. I'm not doing it. He came with y'all, he should have left with y'all. Y'all also had his phone too, so make that make sense. Of course, here comes people saying, oh, it's not about race. No, but it is. Why is it the fact that the one black teen that went out with a whole bunch of white boys is the only one to show up deceased? Y'all not gonna like this one, but being the only black person in a group full of white people or whatever the race is not always the smartest or safest choice. For these white friends of his to say that they don't know what happened to him and they can't remember is a little off-putting. They were not looking out for their so-called friend, and it shows. Hence why I'm not believing anything that they're saying. I'm not buying anything that they're selling. Nolan deserved to be home safe and sound, just like his so-called friends got to be able to be home safe and sound. Prayers out to his family. I really hope they get some answers, because We all know, like, cases like this don't really get the attention that they deserve. They just get brushed over.
We're not teaching our black kids that they should never be the only black person in a group of white people. It is 2026. Are we not teaching our kids that if they are the only black person in a group of white people, their life is in danger? Are we not teaching our kids that they don't have a friend in white people?
This is exactly why whenever black people tell the world to take black life seriously, people should listen. Another black child has lost their lives, and once again there are more questions than answers. A child went out trusting people around them, believing they will be safe, and now that child is gone. A black child life is worth exactly the same as every other child's life. Yet time and time again, black families are left wondering why these cases are dismissed so quickly or treated like they don't deserve the same urgency. Instead of asking why black parents teach their children to be careful, ask why so many children still grow up believing it's acceptable to disrespect, harm, or devalue black lives. No child is born with hate. Those ideas are learned, tolerated, and passed down. Black parents shouldn't have to choose between protecting their children and letting them enjoy life like everyone else. Every child deserves to feel safe, to trust their friends, and to make it home. Black lives matters because every single black life has value. Until every child is treated with the same care, the same protection, and the same demand for justice, this conversation will continue.
These are Nolan Wells' friends that didn't remember anything, but they remembered to deactivate every single social media account that they have. Them, his girlfriend, their parents, all the accounts deactivated and wiped clean. All of them. Jax, Eric, Wyatt, Warren, Morgan, jail. Jail for everyone. Because you know, they're already circling the wagons. They're already lawyered up. But wait, their parents are doctors, lawyers, and judges. This is the father of one of his friends. And this is the stepmama, Ashley Cole, court judge for Jackson, George, and Greene counties in the beautiful state of Mississippi, has already deactivated her account. Deactivated all the accounts, and they have all unfollowed Nolan. And this is Katie, who is either a friend, close friend, or girlfriend, who is supposedly, allegedly cooperating with authorities because all the other friends are lawyered up and circling the wagons and not helpful and not talking. The doctors and the lawyers and the judges' parents of these 5 have said that they would like privacy, please, at this time. But you know what? Name them publicly. No privacy and no peace for Eli, also known as Jax, Eric, Wyatt, Warren, and Morgan. What happened to Nolan? What did you do to Nolan?
In light of this Nolan and Xavier story, I really want to tell the story. This is for black parents or parents of color who have children in all white spaces. I'm from Michigan, right? And there's this beach everybody goes to. It's called Grand Haven. I probably was 17. There's this thing that peach people do, right? Racial baiting, racial peer pressure. They will try to peer pressure your children into doing something that is dangerous to them or could potentially harm them. And it will be for their enjoyment. So there's these 3 or 4 black boys. I can't remember the exact number. And then there's these 2 peach girl, peach boy, right? They jumping off the pier, right? These people have boats. These people have been swimming all their lives. Like, it's nothing for them. They've done this plenty of times, I promise you. Me and my best friend, we're just sitting over the pier and we see the black boys, right? And they start talking to them. They're just having a normal conversation, and all of a sudden they're telling them, hey, jump in, jump in. We instantly can tell this is a problem. The black boys are making statements clearly, insinuating that they can't swim. Nah, bro, I ain't jumping in there. That's crazy. How deep is the water? Da, 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 da. This peach girl and peach boy are saying anything to get them to listen. They're calling them scary and saying, oh, y'all are scared. It is not that deep. Oh, this is easy. And of course it's easy for them, and they know it's not easy for these boys. They know there's a potential that something very bad could happen, but they don't care because they want to see if they're going to jump in. At one point, the peach girl says, I will show you my grass if you jump in. Me and my friend, we turned to them. We said, y'all better not jump in. Y'all better not jump in. Do they listen? Of course not, because the little girl is shaking her yitties. 2 boys jump in. Do you think they did anything when these boys was fighting for their life? Do you think? They mamas don't even know they could have almost lost their child that day. Peach girl, peach boy was just cracking up, laughing. Mind you, they can swim. Me and my best friend, we start looking for a little buoy or something that we could throw out there. Like, we were scared. Anyways, they end up catching hold of the little dock or whatever, and they had to learn a harsh lesson. That's that. But the whole point of the story is just to tell you that things like that happen all the time with them. They even do it to each other. I'm telling you this not to say that it's all white people, not to say that they're all bad, but I just want you to know that you need to protect your children. You need to protect them because they do not understand. And if you didn't grow up with a mama like mine, they will succumb to that type of peer pressure. You have to stop letting y'all children live in a state of delusion. You have to let them know the real.
Warren Hudson's stepmom is a judge. Warren was one of the boys that was with Nolan on the 4th of July. And look at this post that I see. So it says, Ashley Cole knows exactly what's going on. Remember the mother who was tragically shot and killed at Dollar General in Perkinston, Mississippi. During an exchange of children, the mother requested to exchange the children at a police station, and Judge Cole denied that request. Judge Cole also told Aubrey Wyatt's mother she couldn't post about her daughter's suicide online because it gained too much attention. I'm saying all of this to note her character and lack of justice for others, and that is extremely telling, on top of the fact that apparently she deleted all of her social media. So I'm just like, what are you running from, girl? What are you running from? And somebody called it. Somebody said in my comments, they were like, I'm sure one of them are gonna like have ties to the courts or a police officer. And yes, one of the boys, Warren's stepmom, is a judge. We already know they're gonna do everything to try and protect them. And I'm not saying they did anything, but like I said, I feel it in my soul. I feel it genuinely in my soul. They did something to Nolan. Math is already not mathing. Stuff is already not lining up. We're figuring out more. Why is she already deleting her social media? Apparently they've already lawyered up. Like, interesting.
My mama always told me if you the only birthday candle at the birthday party, 9 times out of 10 you ain't there for the party and you there as the present. My mama always told me if you the only birthday candle at the birthday party, you not there for the birthday party, you there to be the present. Nolan Wells and this whole entire thing down there in Mississippi look fishy. One of the boys' mama is a judge down there. Don't nobody know what happened. Now all of a sudden, a body's been found to presume to be his. His mama, Nolan Wells, is online saying she want answers, which means she crying out to the world because she don't believe nothing Mississippi say, which she shouldn't. I want to hear what's going on because it's moving a little too slow for me. The people who investigate this whole thing saying that there's no way possible he could have made it to inside of the island because it's cactus and stuff everywhere. So what really happened to Nolan? That's all we want to know. I'm not going to cover this like I know everything. I want to hear y'all speak this time, okay? Because apparently the other way don't work when we just take what y'all say on y'all news outlets. We want to know what happened from y'all. Instead of all of us making posts on, y'all go live and say what happened. Put them boys on camera. Let us look at them. Let us be the judge of character on this one. Sidebar. I done already goddamn judged them. Y'all guilty. I don't give a damn. My baby leave the house and he don't come back and it was all white friends. Guilty. Undertaker commit the bodies. I digress. Nolan Wells has went missing. Body found. Parents want to know what's going on in Mississippi. If you ain't know what was going on, you know now. He went missing 4th of July weekend. He was with his friends. And he was the only birthday candle. I'm just here to bring you the news. I'm just the messenger.
Y'all can be mad at me if you want, but this story is not sitting right with me at all. Because how does the only black kid leave with the group and end up being the only one who never makes it home? I'm not buying the "we thought he caught another ride" BS. I'm just not. He came with y'all. He should have left with y'all. Y'all also had his phone too. So make that make sense. Of course, here come the comments saying it's not about race. Maybe not. But explain to me why the only black teen who went out with a group of white boys is the only one who ended up dead. Y'all not gonna like this, but being the only black person in a group where nobody's looking out for you is not always the safest situation. And for these so-called friends to say they don't know what happened or they can't remember, that's not sitting right with me either. They weren't looking out for their friend, period. That's why I'm not buying what they're saying. Nolan deserved to make it home the same way every single one of his so-called friends did. My prayers are with his family, and I truly hope they get answers. And y'all, tell me if I'm wrong. If your friend shows up dead, but somehow nobody remembers anything, would you just accept that? Or are some of y'all so uncomfortable talking about race that you'll ignore every red flag sitting right in front of you?
Every time black people stand up for their lives, their safety, and their rights, there are always people who try to silence them instead of listening. When a community is asking for equal treatment and justice, that should never be seen as a problem. Black people are simply asking to be treated with the same dignity and respect as everyone else. When Black people say Black Lives Matter, they are not saying other lives do not matter. They are saying Black lives should matter because history has shown. That message should be heard instead of being dismissed. Even today, families are still mourning loved ones lost to violence, discrimination, and unfair treatment. Mothers still burying their children, fathers are still demanding justice, and communities are still waiting for answers. This should never be something people accept as normal. Now look at this recent case. An 18-year-old Black teenager went out with his friends and never came back home. The same people who were with him returned home without him, and some of his belongings were reportedly found with them. Many people are frustrated because this case reminds them of much bigger problem. For years, Black communities have spoken about unequal treatment in policing, healthcare, education, and the justice system. These experiences have created deep mistrust and a feeling that justice is not always equal. Racism is not something people are born with. It is learned, tolerated, and passed on when prejudice is ignored instead of challenged. That is why accountability matters. Every family, every school, and every community has a responsibility to reject hatred before it turns into tragedy. No family should ever have to beg for justice because of the color of their child's skin. Every life deserves the same protection, the same respect, and the same fair treatment under the law. Justice should never depend on race, money, or influence. As this investigation continues, the facts should reveal what happened, and anyone responsible should be held accountable. Every family deserves the truth, and every victim deserves justice. What do you think about this case? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and if you haven't already, kindly consider subscribing, liking, and share.